Hey, welcome back to How to Barbecue Right. I'm Malcolm Reed. Today, y'all, I'm doing jerk chicken. Now, this is my take on an authentic Jamaican jerk chicken recipe, at least with the ingredients I can source here in Mississippi. It's gonna be spicy. It's gonna be smoky from the charcoal grill. Let's get to cooking. So for this Jamaican jerk chicken, the way I've had it in Jamaica, it's typically quarters. So I took a whole chicken, split it down the middle, and then divided those pieces in half. What it did, it left me with a big piece of the white meat, the breast and the wing still connected. And then it left me with leg quarters as well. On these white meat pieces, the breast, the wing, they're so big. What I've seen them do in Jamaica is they'll just take a knife and they'll cut little score marks in this chicken breast just a couple times. What it's going to do, it's going to help our marinade get down in these crevices, but it's also going to help it cook even too. So when you get it, it's split open, it's cracked. It's not about the appearance on jerk chicken. It's about the grill flavor, the spicy marinade we put on it, all those Caribbean flavors. That's what we want on jerk chicken. I've got just a gallon-size zip-top bag. You could use a bowl if you wanted to, but I'm just gonna drop these chicken quarters down in the bag. It's all right if they're piled up on top of each other. We're gonna fill it up with the spicy marinade, and everything's gonna get good and coated. Now, this is probably the number one or one of the only jerk marinades that I've seen, and they actually sell it. When you go to Jamaica, you see this Walkerswood brand. This is the spicy version, so it does have some heat. You always want to shake it real good because it's kind of chunky. But when you taste it, it doesn't just have a ton of flavor. It's got the heat, it's got spice. You know, you get all the typical Jamaican flavors from it. But for me, it needs a little bump, so I'm gonna kick it up a notch. But I am gonna dump this whole bottle right over our chicken. I'm gonna take some of my jerk seasoning first, and I'm gonna shake it on down. Now I've got a big bowl here, and I'm gonna start with a little brown sugar, some more heat. I've got another one of these hot peppers. Now, Scotch Bonnet is the pepper that they use in the Caribbean, but I couldn't find those, so I'm going with a Habanero, but I just cut it into little thin rings. And then I chopped up a bunch of green onion. I'm gonna use about half of it, because I may need the rest of that half. Then I've got some minced garlic, about 4 cloves. I'm gonna squeeze in some fresh lemon juice, about half a lemon. Squeeze all that juice of that lemon in there. The citrus flavors makes a jerk marinade. We're gonna round it out with some pineapple juice, a little bit of our Scotch Bonnet pepper sauce. Now, this stuff gets hot, so use it sparingly. About a good tablespoon. And then a little bit of Worcestershire to round it out. I'll shake some dashes in. I didn't really measure it, but if I had to guess, it's probably 2 tablespoons. Now mix this up. And we're just wanting to dissolve that sugar a little bit. It doesn't have to be blended or anything. The Walkerswood Jerk Marinade's already blended up. It's a little chunky too, but I like the extra chunkiness from the green onion, the garlic, and these hot peppers that we're putting in there. I'm gonna have to try it, see how hot it is. See, that's got the sweetness. That brings that to the Walkerswood, to the jerk seasoning. So we're just gonna dump this right on top. I don't mind using bottled stuff, but I also like to doctor it up a little bit. And then just give it a good mix, y'all. Because we're gonna let this sit in the refrigerator overnight. It needs a minimum of 4 hours, but trust me, if you just put this in for about 12 hours or overnight, get up the next day and cook it, it's gonna be that much better because you're gonna get all those flavors. But you can see these chickens just getting coated in it. Worst thing that could happen is one of these little sharp bones poke the bag. So sit it in a pan or a bowl, sit it in the refrigerator, forget about it all night long. Now let's see what this overnight marinade did to this chicken, y'all. That's the breast. It worked on it, but where I made those cracks, it all soaked down in there. That's what I wanted to see. What did it do to the leg quarter? I mean, it smells. The smell of it's phenomenal. And I know it got in the meat. I mean, I put it in the soak probably about 8 o'clock. Come down to the smokehouse this morning about 8 o'clock, so it got a good 12 hours. Now, you could buy a cut up chicken or use whatever parts you want for jerk chicken. I just thought the authentic way is kind of use that whole chicken, cut it up yourself. Now, normally I would take paper towels, try to blot all this marinade off, but I don't want to lose those flavors. Man, I worked too hard letting this soak overnight while I slept. So I'm going to let it stay really damp, and I'm just going to season it a little bit more with my jerk seasoning. If you got a favorite jerk seasoning, go for it. But I just want to put a little bit more crust on the outside. With it being really wet from the marinade, it's going to dissolve it. Since we just came out of the refrigerator, I do want this chicken to come up to temperature a little bit. It's cool outside. It's not going to go very far, but it gives me time to go fire up my Primo. Now, for cooking jerk chicken, You're gonna want a 2-zone fire. If you got pimento wood, you're in business. Today I'm using Royal Oak lump. I don't have any pimento. I wish I did. But let me get the grill fired up real quick. So to get this Primo fired up, I'm loading it up with some Royal Oak lump charcoal, throwing a tumbleweed in there, and let those coals get good and hot. Now when they're burnt over, I'm gonna flip the grate over, knock that grate off with a little aluminum foil if there's anything on it. Just get it clean as you can. Close that lid, let it come up to temperature. We're looking for about 350 today. That's right where you wanna be. And we're gonna start this jerk chicken off the hot coals. That way I don't burn it up. It's gonna let it come up slow. We're gonna bring it up to temperature, and then right when it gets to where I want it, I'm gonna get me some straight up grill flavor going on it over those hot coals. So we're gonna grab white meat, start it out kind of big side towards the fire. And we're gonna put our thigh, leg quarters on here. But we're starting at 2-zone fire, chicken's on the cool side, heat's coming over, getting it all happy. All we gotta do is close the lid, let her eat. All right, let's do a little 30-minute check-in on this jerk chicken. It's been rocking and rolling. Oh man, look, we're starting to get some color on it. My leg quarters need turning a little bit. That one does anyway. This one's doing fine. It ain't ready. It's only been on 30 minutes. I know it's gonna take at least an hour. Let's close that lid. Got some good coals. That Royal Oak's doing its thing. So I'm just gonna keep the lid closed. Set me another 15-minute timer. Come back and look at it. It's probably gonna take 30 more minutes, y'all. So it's been 45 minutes, y'all. And now let's check our jerk chicken out. It's already got color to it. Before we finish that chicken off over those hot coals, I wanna make me a little fiery jerk sauce to top it with. That's something extra. It is totally optional. But if you like some spice, you're gonna like this sauce. So I got me a heavy bottom pot. We're gonna put it right over those coals. Leave that grill lid open. Got a half a stick of butter going in. I chopped up some of those green onion white part, another one of those hot peppers, and some more garlic. We're just gonna put that in there. Now after about 2 or 3 minutes, that butter's melted good. Those vegetables are getting soft. I want them to keep their texture. I'm not trying to cook them like all the way caramelized or anything. That Scotch Bonnet pepper sauce. Think of this as like kind of like a Jamaican buffalo sauce. This ain't for the faint of heart. Need a little bit of Worcestershire sauce, a few dashes. I'm using some more of that jerk seasoning. Brown sugar, sweeten it up. We got it hot, we got it spicy. A little bit of clover honey. Use whatever honey you like. Then I'm gonna finish it off. A little bit of fresh citrus. I got some lemon. Once it comes up to a pretty good boil like that, those sugars are gonna melt. Honey's gonna come together. All you gotta do is take this sauce off, set it to the side, pour it up, let it cool a little bit. We fixing to sear some jerk chicken. Now making that sauce, let a lot of air get in these coals. This fire is really hot right here, and that is perfect for what I want to do to this chicken. I'm just going to take it. We're going to sear some of it. It's already got pretty good color. I mean, I'm really happy with these quarters, but I like to get a little bit of flavor going directly over the coals. Jerk chicken is about love. It takes time to make it right. You got to marinate to get all those spices in there. You got to cook it slow and then hit it with that high heat so you can get some of that grill flavor in it. It only took about a minute or two each side. I mean, look, that skin is starting to get a little crispy there on that quarter. That's what I want to see. We got the meat juices dripping, flames coming up and kissing it. These quarters are done, y'all. Jerk chicken ain't about a glaze baked on it. It's about the sauce and the flavor inside. I got a little extra kick-em-up sauce to eat them with, but we ain't glazing this chicken. That flavor is all about the meat. Ooh, look at that. Quarters look good. Now let's work on these big, beautiful breasts. You know, you thought it was gonna fall apart. I had them slits on it, but they tightened up. They come back together and you can barely tell where they are, but it made it cook evenly inside. Now just after a couple minutes on that skin side down, you don't wanna burn it up. It's looking good. We'll go just a couple more minutes over those coals on that side. Man, yeah, that wingtip getting crunchy. Y'all, I just did 2 minutes on that meat side down. Let's see what it looks like. Oh yeah, we got some grill action going. That's gonna give us that flavor I want that jerk chicken to have. And that's done. That's all we need this Primo for. We're gonna go to the board. It's gotta rest just a little bit, but I ain't giving it too long. Now the only thing I'm gonna do to this jerk chicken while it's resting is pop it with just a little bit of that green onion I saved. And that's really just for looks. You don't have to do this. I got to get me some of this jerk chicken, y'all. Which piece do I want to start with? Let's go with the white meat here. Since I already got them score marks in it, I'm gonna put my knife there. And this is how they serve it to you when I'm in Jamaica. The white meat comes cut up. It's in big chunks. But look at this, y'all. I mean, it's perfect. I want to get a bite without my little spicy sauce. Look at that crispy skin hanging. That reminds me of the grill. That's so good. Wow. Juicy, flavored through and through. It's got those Caribbean spices. A little spicy, but not bad. Now we're gonna kick it up. Watch this. Taking some of this Scotch Bonnet sauce I concocted over there on the grill. Coat that chicken in that goodness. Dip that excess off that board. You talk about flavor. Might blow my head off, I don't know. Oh, that needs a cold red stripe. Yes, sir. Dark meat. So I'm gonna take this dark meat. I'm gonna lop this leg off. Let's get that bite. That's fantastic. Thanks for hanging out with us here at HowToBBQRight. If you like what we're doing, subscribe to the channel. You can find us on all the social platforms at HowToBBQRight. And Shell and I are definitely going to be talking about this jerk chicken recipe on our weekly podcast. So y'all give that a listen too. We'll see y'all next time. I'm finna eat me some more Yardbird. I need to be on the beach with some rum punch, some Bob Marley playing. Yes, sir.